Good morning, my name is Rob. I'm a Yorkshireman who lives in Derbyshire. I love cycling and I love disused railways and the abandonment of them, and I like exploring them by bike. Quite blessed here in Derbyshire to have many miles of disused railways. So today I'm going to take you on a trip down one of 3, 4 of those maybe, different sections, starting Chesterfield station, on a 45-mile loop. We're going to take in the Pleasley Pit Trail, which used to feed all the collieries, taking in part of the Midland Railway. We're going to head down towards Teversal, across the Pleasley Pit, where we'll pass what remains of the Great Northern Railway, and then we'll head up the archaeological way towards Creswell, again on some old railway, and from there we'll come back through Creswell to the Clown branch line, down through Clown to Pleasley Country Park, pick up the Transpennine Trail, where I'll show you the new bridge they've just put in, that bridge the gap where the old GCR used to be, and from there we'll head back towards the train station on the Transpennine Trail. So we're here at Chesterfield station. I've done 5 miles. This will be a starting point. There's a car park just there, which is a pay car park, or just round the corner back that way there's a slightly cheaper all day car park. Our route is going to be heading that way.
Okay, so we're now on a nice bit of gravel on this nature reserve just outside Chesterfield. We've got the A61 over to our right, and we're going to meander parallel to it for a bit before we head away and pick up the Pleasley Pit Trail at Grassmore.
Okay, so we're just coming up towards the Pleasley Pit Trail at Grassmore. Thank you. So, like I said, Pleasley Pit Trail on this section down to Teversal is what I would call lumpy. A couple of little kickers where one of the Loco plantation where there used to be a beautiful viaduct for the railway, that's now gone. So as a cyclist it means you have to go downhill and back up the other side. But it's not super long and it's not the steepest climb that you could find in Derbyshire. So I think you'll be okay as long as you've got some good gears. Okay, so this in front of us here is the site of the colliery that was once here. As you can see, now it's all been reclaimed into a nice little country park. Dog walkers, cyclists, walkers. And it takes you to the start of the Pleasley Pit Trail at this end, which you'll see in a moment. There's a dog walker and it looks a bit muddy this time of year. So here we go, look, first railway bridge. We're straight on the Pleasley Pit Trail. What a beauty. There's a road above us, Here we go, look. National Cycle Network 67, 5 Pits Trail. Slight uphill start, but again, not too steep. You got the right gear and you'll be fine. If you're on an e-bike, then just use the motor. So for those wondering, incline at the minute, about 3.5%. Just pick a little just ahead. It's nothing too arduous. Six and a half, just touching on 7% there, and then we level off. Okay, nearly at the summit, this little ramp, and then we approach what was once a railway junction. The line came up here from the pit, and there was another line coming in from our right at about 5 o'clock position. And from there, we have two options. We can go left to Homewood, which we're not going to do today, or we can continue to the right, down towards Tibshelf, and onto the Teversal Trail, which is the route we're going to do today. So just ahead you can see the fork, and to our right, the line came in from Chesterfield, and then around this corner we have a left and a right. Left to Homewood, right to Tibshelf, and that's where we're going today. We're just here on the left behind these trees. There's a pond. Me and my youngest often argue. He calls it a lake, I call it a pond. And I think as someone that used to fish, that's definitely more pond than lake. But it's a great little site. Always busy with fishermen. And as you can see, the railway line opens up in front of us. Absolutely beautiful. These autumn leaves falling. Absolutely stunning. One of my favourite trails to ride. Okay, so the old line originally, I believe, went straight on here, and that's now a reclaimed farmer's field. And we just have a very small diversion around, nothing major, just loops round and picks the old trail back up just on the other side of the farmer's field. Now remember I said this was a rolling trail. So we've got a few ups and downs to come, but again, they're nothing arduous. You ride often, you certainly have the fitness to be able to ride these. So just at the end of this section, where you'll see the gate appearing on the right, we hang a left and we're back on the old track bed. Or thereabouts. So we have another junction here. Left goes over to Homewood and back forms a loop to the line I showed you back at the junction, and we're going to carry on. A number of benches on the route, so if you did feel like having a breather, plenty of opportunities for that. Always nice to bring a bit of food, quite a few picnic tables, number of cafes and shops in places very close to the route. Well, it's absolutely stunning today, and this slight end of October mist with the leaves on the ground, just lovely, absolutely lovely. Calm, all I can hear my own breathing and my bike. Another little offshoot to Homewood there, and that'll be for another video. From there you can get back over, well, wherever you want. You can come back on the loop, you can head over to Hardwick Hall, you can pick up the trail further down by stitching it together with a bit of road, or there is a trail at the far end which brings you back towards Pleasley Pit, and I'll show you that offshoot a little bit later. Another little ramp here, nothing arduous, nice and steady. I imagine in the railway days it was probably a little bit more levelled out, or the trains would have had to take a big run up at this. And there you go, we're up here. Not too bad. 10% at its severest. Look at that. Stunning. Would have been absolutely fantastic coming down here on a train. Still see just to your left in the gutter there the old drainage channel. And the fact there is cambered ever so slightly to the right to allow drain off into the woods, keep the tracks dry, wood free. Now look at that, stunning, just stunning. And all around to your left and right. It's greeted with lovely panoramas looking over the hills towards Ashover and out towards Derbyshire Dales. And to the left, fields, trees, farmhouses, stunning. So now we're just coming down towards Loco Plantation, where a huge viaduct once stood. Morning! Long since demolished. There's pictures around if I can find one. Post it up. That's these doggies. Thank you very much. Cheers. So the train track would have carried on. It's a great height above the road. Just careful of that left bend, scrub off any speed you've got. And get ready to climb. Gosh, you're going to drop down to the road here. This is a first gear climb, even for me. With a 42 tooth on the back and a 38 on the front. Across the road and up we go. Okay, so just coming up to the Teversal Trail now. Teversal Pond's only a mile or so from Teversal itself to here. So you're going to be careful here, we're going left. Careful at the bottom, just get a bit slippy and look out for traffic. There we go. Now we're on the Teversal Trail. So in a bit we're going to pass under the M1, not far from Teversal Services and the A38 Derby Mansfield junction of the M1. And this is probably one of my favourite sections of the 5 pits. Just lovely, nice, deep cutting, quiet, very, very little external noise, which is nice. And if you keep your eyes peeled, occasionally you can see a little bit of ballast still down in places. You still see the drainage channels, some lovely bridges. Just a generally lovely trail. Bridge ahead, really, really high. Not sure if you'll be able to see it on the camera. Just ahead. There, lovely old red bricked 4 arch, I think. 4 arch bridge. Yep. 4 arch bridge. Got the M1 ahead there. And if you keep your eyes peeled on this section, you might see the odd bit of old railway infrastructure. I've just seen what I think was a mile marker back there. Old concrete post set back. But look at that, look how far that's stretching ahead. Yeah, typical railway, straight as much as possible. It makes for absolutely fantastic riding. And just ahead on the left, you can see it, 20-30 metres ahead of me is an old signal post, intact, with ladder and signal. And opposite, to the right, is the Nottinghamshire-Derbyshire border. So that there denotes the border between the two. And there's the post telling you the same, and on the other side it says Derbyshire as you're entering Derbyshire. So there's a little nugget of information for you that you might not have known. Okay, so this is where the Silverhill Trail meets Skegby and Teversal. And we're going to go this way, to Pleasley. If you were to take the left turn just up here, it would take to where Silverhill Colliery used to be, and there's a path all the way around, the pond, you see some concrete pads where stuff used to be, and right at the highest point of what was the slag heap, spoil heap these days as they call them, was or is a monument to the miners, and it's also the highest point in Nottinghamshire. And on a good clear day, the vista is amazing. You can see over towards Sheffield, Lady Canning's Wood. You can see over, I believe, Cotton Power Station. There is a little map placard up there. So there's a left turn. And that placard shows you all the points you can see in the 360 panorama. It really is worth the extra 4-mile round trip. Not far, but it's uphill. It's quite steep to get up to the highest point, 12% I think. but not particularly long. So definitely worth the effort. Okay, so coming up to another bridge here. Just look how in this cutting the trees just envelop you and create an almost tunnel-like channel. It's absolutely beautiful. It really is. And it's probably why it's one of my favourite trails around. It's stunning. Okay, so on the last couple of mile running now to Pleasley Pit. And again, another cut-in. Just lovely, I mean, big cut-in. Look how high the sides are. Just took some clearing. And you can see how the surface has changed ever so slightly. We just crossed the road half a mile back. You'll know it because you'll come to, I believe it's called Mini Alpe d'Huez on Strava. And it's just a couple of little S-bends, not steep at all. A couple of S-bends up and a little S-bends down after the road. And then you're onto this lovely stretch. If you go down there and take a left, down there and left, you've got the Silverhill Trail, which is only short, but that brings you out at the top end of Hardwick Hall. And from there, you can go through Glapwell and drop down the main road, turn right at the Costa Coffee, I believe it is, or Starbucks, one of the two. And you can pick up the trail, the Stockley Trail, which takes you back over towards Poolsbrook Country Park, if you wanted to shorten the route. Today, we're going to go the long way around, up the archaeological way, and from there, pick up the Clown Branch line, which also comes into Poolsbrook Country Park. So you've got a few choices. We're just about to come up to what was Pleasley Pit, and you'll be able to see the headstock and the cafe in less than a mile. So now we're at Pleasley Pit Country Park. What was once a very busy, bustling colliery. Pleasley Pit Cafe, headstock, and then just between the chimney, the building there, between the headstock and the chimney, you can see that's where the pumping engine is. Huge, impressive piece of kit. Really, really good. Definitely worth a visit when it's open, as is the cafe where I'm going to go now.